Hi, this is the final video, video 6 for the bowl cozy. We have constructed both layers. I have rounded my edges. You can see how it's going to look now with rounded edges, more like a sweet little flower petal, excuse me. I have put right sides together, so I have batting here and batting here. I'm going to go to the machine and sew around my bowl a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to pivot stitch at each one of these dart areas. And then I'm going to leave a section of a side open so that that's where I can turn it right side out. And then I will top stitch and close that up. So I'm going to unplug this now and go to a sewing machine, and let's do this last step. Okay, so I want a 1/4 inch seam around this little bowl. I'm going to try to kind of start on an edge, a flat edge, but very close to the corner. I want to maintain those corners, so I'm going to try to pivot stitch in each one of those. Foot down, back stitch, tie a knot. At the corner, I'm going to put my needle down. In that thick corner, pivot stitch, come to the side of my petal, side of my bowl, keep sewing around the edge, make sure I'm catching both sides. Ouch, got myself. I'm coming close to another corner. Now there's a lot of thicknesses there, so that's it's rather difficult, but I can do it. I might have to pull a little bit from this side gently. Okay, I'm going to turn the corner, pivot stitch, come around. Pull out my pins as I come to them. I'm at that dart seam. I'm going to pivot there, pick up my foot, and make that little corner. It's going to give more shape to my bowl, so it still kind of looks like it has the corners and then the petals or the edges. Okay. Pivot stitch. Okay, I'm on my last petal, so remember I want to leave a section open there to turn it right side out. So I'm going to sew probably just past my yellow pin right here. Just past the center of that section. I want to back stitch so that I know know it's going to hold. Okay. All right. Cut my threads. Okay. So there's what it looks like stitched together. Now I'm going to enter carefully through this little hole and take my time turning this right side out. And it's going to feel like it's not going to come, but be patient. Keep turning to the outside. Again, it's work. Doing it slowly, trying to do it carefully. I have to say my last one came easier. So keep working. I'm going to try to tuck. Come and work at it from the other side and tuck the batting in there, in that hole. Yes, that's starting to work. You can see that that's starting to work. Instead of pulling, I'm tucking it in. Now I can start bringing it out again. You definitely do not want to rip anything. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Okay, I take my finger and kind of push out all the sides. Okay. Stretch it. Work my sides so my seams look really good. And turn that in a little bit. Just really work this till you think it looks nice. Now this is a small bowl, so if you wanted a bigger bowl, but you'll be surprised. This size perfectly holds my soup bowls with one set of my dishes. Okay, now I've got to sew this section closed, so I'm going to just try to round that seam a little bit so it doesn't look perfectly flat. I'm going to sew all the way around this bowl, top stitching the whole way. I want to sew from what I think I will use as my outside, which is the cupcake fabric. So again, about 1/4 of an inch, start with my needle in the fabric and carefully go around the edge. Sewing through a lot of thicknesses of fabric. So don't force anything, just gently go around it. I'm working my edges out as I go. It takes a while. Okay, I'm getting to the place that was open. So trying to shape that as best as I can. And make sure that I sew it shut so my raw edges don't come out. Okay, I'm past it. And a little back stitch where I started. And our little bowl is done. Can be this way, or I can turn it this way. If you don't want to round these corners, you can leave them pointed, and then it just gives it a different shape, but it works just fine that way too. So whichever way you like, you can round your edges, or you can leave them really pointed. Have fun making a bowl cozy and enjoy eating soup and ice cream without frozen hands or hot hands. Okay? All right. We are finished.